Fantastic. Okay, I'd like to welcome you to this My Advertising Pays webinar. My name's Duncan Wood, for anybody that doesn't know me. Before we start the presentation, I'd just like to tell you, especially for the new people, a little bit about myself. I live in North Wales. I started my business life as a builder, running my own building company, employing various people. I started investing money into property. This was round about Maggie Thatcher's time, the same time that at that time bank managers used to have some respect. My bank manager used to know me, used to meet up with me, and we discussed business. And that was the period of time when bank managers were taken away from knowing their customers to being put in an office. And the one time I needed help from the bank was when a company went bankrupt on me, owing me 250,000. It was a bit of a disaster at the time, but it was made even worse when the bank, who could have helped me, actually reduced my overdraft by 3/4. I hung on for 2 years and eventually had enough, pulled the plug and lost everything. Lost my building business, lost all the property, everything. That was the worst time in my life, but I always think that from adversity comes opportunity. And that was the first time in my life that I'd come across a system called multi-level marketing. If there's any new people in the room tonight, when I first heard about it, I just did not understand it. I thought it was totally illegal, but I did my research and began to understand it, and actually opened my eyes up to another way of making money. Now, what you're hearing tonight is not multi-level marketing, but I'm telling you this for a reason. I started back as a builder because that's all I knew, I started my first multi-level marketing business as a part-time basis. Didn't really make much money in the first one. The second one I did, it was a company called Telco. Did quite well in that. Took 5 years working part-time alongside my building business, but eventually I went full-time into it. And just as I did, what happened? The company sold out. I moved from that to another company. That also wasn't a success. But then I heard of a company called Tiscali. You've probably heard of them, a brand name company using multi-level marketing to market their phone service. Did quite well with that company until about 4 or 5 years later, they decided to sell out. By this time, I'd had enough of multi-level marketing. There was another problem as well. In multi-level marketing, generally, you have an outlay to join the business, normally a couple of £100. And there's normally a monthly fee. Sometimes there's product automatically set up on AutoShip. And the problem with that is if you don't recruit people, you tend to go into a negative cash flow problem. And that's why a lot of people fail in multi-level marketing, because they have to recruit. So I came out of network marketing for that reason. And I went back into traditional business. We got scammed by a guy in Ireland to do with property. I won't go into that now, but that led me one day to start a window tinting business. And that was the first time in my life that I'd needed a website. I was totally unfamiliar with the internet and how it worked, but I knew I had to get a website. And then building a website is one thing. Driving traffic to that website is another thing. And that's when I really learned the hard way. I must have wasted so much money trying to drive traffic to that website. As an example, I was spending at one time £3,000 a month to Google pay-per-click advertising alone. I was paying on top of that £250 for SEO, search engine optimization. Anybody that's on the call tonight who's got a business will understand where I'm coming from. And somebody actually phoned me up one day, and this was their approach to me. He asked me if I had a website. I said yes. He asked me how much I spent on advertising. I told him. And then he asked me what kind of traffic did I get. Well, as I said, I got about 0.1% click-through rate from my advertising costs with Google. And he said to me, well, how would you like to drive traffic to your website, but it costs you nothing? And I immediately said, how? I want to know how that works. Now, I got involved with a company previous to My Advertising Pays, but they were doing a similar system. But unfortunately, like a lot of businesses, it was badly managed. And that company lasted a few years. I did make quite a bit of money from it, but it ended. And we had money in the bank. And I happened to know Tony and Lynn Booth, two friends of mine. They mentioned about a gentleman called Mike Dees, who was a blogger at the time, and Mike mentioned online about recommending some businesses to his followers. He had about 5 million, I understand, followers at the time, and Lynn used to follow him regularly. And Mike made a statement. He'd also recommended businesses online to some of his followers, and some of those businesses, like the business that let me down, had let other people down. And he made a statement that he wasn't prepared to recommend any more businesses. If he was going to do anything, he'd do it himself, and he'd do it properly. And from that conversation, Lynn told me she contacted him. They ended up speaking on Skype. He went away to come back with something 3 months later to show Lynn. And a year later, my advertising page was born. It was actually launched on December the 13th. I remember it well because my wife is quite skeptical with regards to, she didn't want to spend any money because it's Friday the 13th. So it's my pleasure to introduce my advertising page to you. I actually started a few days after the company launched. I bought my first credit packs in January, just after Christmas. If you ask me how much I actually spent, I bought 40 credit packs. I actually put the money onto an interest-free credit card. Tesco's at the time had a 2 years interest-free credit card. And I started and watched what happened. If I tell you to date, it is unbelievable what has happened since that day. I regularly take out in excess of $5,000 to $6,000 a week, and that's every week. And I'm here to tell you about a business that can literally change your life. Now, whether you believe that or not, it doesn't really matter. All I ask you to do is keep an open mind. When your mind's open, it works. If it's closed, it doesn't work. If you've got any questions, that's great. We're not going to be able to answer all the questions here on this call tonight, but my advice is whoever recommended you to come on this call, get back to them and get your questions answered. And do not believe what a friend tells you. Often your friends will give you advice, often on things they know nothing about. So who is this company and what's it about and how does it work? How do you make money? Well, first of all, I want to say, as I said before, there's lots of companies around, and why do some companies fail and some companies succeed? There's various reasons. It could be bad management, it could be lack of funds, it could be that they don't have humanity, integrity, and loyalty. That's the one thing that my advertising page has, and that's why I'm here today, and I love this company. So let's just start this presentation. There's the gentleman I was talking about, Mike Dees. He comes from a long line of successful businessmen and women. He's a disabled US States Air Force veteran who spent many years, as I said, looking for a real and simple internet model that can create a secure and reliable income. I kept questioning Lynn about, how did she know this guy? Who was he? She actually went out and spent, her and Tony, a month with Mike, lived at his house and worked with him. And while she was there, I was phoning her to ask her, now she'd met him, what she thought of him. And in fact, we invited them around back to our house to stay a weekend, purely so I could get some idea of who this guy was. What I began to realize that this guy was genuine. He meant what he said he would do, and if he was going to do it, he was going to do it properly. So just before we start the presentation, we have to include an income disclosure, so I'd like you to just briefly read that. But basically what it's saying is success with my advertising page results only from your own efforts, and that depends on how much effort and time and dedication you put into this business. If you want to see the full income disclosure, go to myadvertisingpage.com to terms. You can see the link at the bottom of the slide there. So let's first of all talk about advertising, because there's probably a few people on this call who maybe haven't got their own business and might not be familiar with how, if you have got your own business, how you have to constantly advertise that business. Now, we're all used to the traditional methods of newspapers and magazines, but there's a thing happening on the internet. It's huge. It's all changing now. Everybody is starting to advertise on the internet. Now, the one thing is with a newspaper or a magazine, If you phone up, let's say a local newspaper, they've probably got a few 100,000 people buying it. And if you phone up a national newspaper, they've probably got hundreds of thousands, if not millions of customers buying the newspaper. Just because you put an advert in there and you think that those millions of people that are buying the newspaper are going to see your advert, it's not actually the case. Because you know yourself, a lot of people might just miss the page that your advert's on. A lot of blokes will just go to the back page to look at the sport, and a lot of people will buy the newspaper, like I often do, and never have time to read it. So just because the circulation numbers are stated by the companies that provide the product doesn't mean to say that your advert is going to be seen. The difference between advertising in a traditional method on newspapers and magazines and advertising on the internet is this. When you advertise on the internet, you are buying views to an advert. So as an example, if you went to a broker and you wanted to create an advert to put up on the internet, first of all, he's going to ask you what type of websites you want your advert to appear on, and the next thing he's going to do is ask you how many views you want to your advert. Now let's give you an example. Let's say you pay for 20,000 views. The difference is, on the internet, you can guarantee that 20,000 unique people are going to see your advert. Now, people will say, well, how do I know that turns into sales? Well, it's what's called click-through rate, where somebody clicks on your advert and goes to your website. Now, that can determine how good your advert is. Just because your advert didn't work doesn't mean to say it's the website's fault or the paper's fault. If it was an advert in the paper, it could be that your advert needs improving. So the difference is this. On traditional methods of advertising, you can't control how many people, or don't even know half the time how many people are actually seeing your advert. On the internet, you are actually in control. You know for certain that if you pay for 20,000 views, 20,000 people are going to see your advert. Now, as I said to you, when I advertised on Google, I was getting a 0.1% click-through rate. I'll talk to you more in a minute about what kind of results I get from my advertising page, but I can tell you the minimum is about 10% click-through rate. But there's one big difference between advertising on the newspapers or in magazines or on the television against advertising on the internet. And it says it on this slide here. Who gets the profit from your advert? If you were advertising on Google like I was, Google takes the profit. If you advertise in the Daily Mail or the Observer, the newspaper takes the profit. Now, you decide where you want to advertise. Now, if you're listening to this and wondering, well, what am I going to do with the advertising? Don't worry about it. The person that introduces you can give you all sorts of ideas of how you can use the advertising later. If you're in business right now, you really need to take a serious understanding of what this is about. Because if you're in business, the whole point is to make profit. If you can reduce your overheads, and advertising is an overhead, and increase your profit, you can actually make a profit from this. So first of all, let's talk about online advertising. It's actually growing phenomenally. It's unbelievable. Do your own research. I just went online today to look at some UK figures. I just want to give you an idea of the spend in the UK currently. In 2011, the UK was spending 7.13 billion on advertising. In 2015, that's grown to practically double, nearly 10.43 billion. And currently, they're estimating for this year, 2016, that figure is going to grow to 16.2 billion. Okay, now here's some news. The UK will become the first country in the world where half of all advertising spend goes on digital media, the internet. I'm going to read that again. The UK will become the first country in the world where half of all advertising spend goes on digital media. That is phenomenal. So are we in the right industry? Absolutely. The internet is growing phenomenally. And it's a rapidly expanding market worth 1 billion per day and growing. They estimate, or the current figures are, it's growing between 12 and 25% a year. Now there's another industry you're in. If you get started in this business, it's a business where you work for yourself. 70% of home-based businesses succeed within 3 years versus 30% of regular businesses. I'm talking about home-based businesses now. So 70% of home-based businesses succeed within 3 years versus 30% of what we call a traditional business. And 44% of home-based businesses are started for under $5,000. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know any business. As an example, I started with 40 credit packs, okay, but within a couple of years, I could be earning in excess of over £100,000 a year. You tell me where you could find a business like that. So you're in the right place at the right time with the right industry, and advertising online is absolutely booming. So why My Advertising Pays? What exactly is it? It's an online advertising platform. It's a website basically. So like any website, the more traffic a website gets to it, the more valuable the space that it rents out to advertisers becomes. I know, for an example, the space that is available for external advertisers on My Advertising Pays becomes available every few months or so, and it's literally sold out within half an hour. As I said to you before, the owner is Mike Dees. He was born in Mississippi, USA. He launched this company in 2013, and membership grew phenomenally right from the beginning. I just looked at the figures today of the total number of members, and currently, just bear with me a second, it currently stands at 260,000 affiliates. It's growing by 10,000 a month approximately. And currently this site gets 120 million views per month. That's 4 million views a day. Now just look at the page there and look at the time that people spend on the site. That is very important on a website. You know, most people are just clicking onto a website and they're coming off it, and that is not good for any company. The fact that the people are spending time on this site makes the site more and more valuable, and there's more things coming out soon to keep people focused on and staying more on the site. So this is a simple and easy way for everybody and anybody to make money. Literally anybody can make money from this business. The nice thing is you get paid for advertising on this site. So as the name suggests, My Advertising Pays, you get paid to advertise. So what is the product? Well, the product is what's called it's advertising, but to actually earn money, you buy what's called a credit pack, and it's, as the name suggests, it's a credit for certain numbers of views to an advert, and that number of views is 550 views to any text advertisement that you wish to use, either now or later. Don't worry about it. As I said, if you haven't got an existing business or can't think of anything to advertise, you can use that later. So one credit pack costs $49.99. Okay, that gives you 550 views to any advert that you want to create, and you also get what's called boosters, 10 of them. And those boosters, if somebody has got a video on an advert and they want to keep somebody listening in a little bit longer to catch their attention, then my advice is use a booster, because that person has to listen to your advert or watch your advert for 30 seconds. Now, you don't have to, and this is the key part of this business, this is what attracted me, you don't have to refer anybody and you still make money. Now, that is the key difference between this and multi-level marketing. The problem, as I said, with multi-level marketing is you have to generally introduce people, or if you don't, you have to go and sell a product. We don't sell anything in this business. All we look for is people who want to make money online and at the same time want to drive traffic to their website or advertise any business they might have, or any other, you can advertise a charity if you want. It's up to you. Now, just while we're talking about credit packs, well, with the next slide we'll talk a bit more, but so why is somebody attracted to My Advertising Pays? Well, first of all, the masses are happy because they're getting paid. You get paid every hour, every day. You can just carry on with what you're doing right now. My advice is don't go into a business like this full-time straight away. Build it up. The nice thing is it only takes 5 minutes a day. You can go off to do your normal job, or if you work for yourself, just carry on doing what you're doing, and every day you are making money. You're actually getting paid 72 times a day, every hour of the day. Beats waiting 30 days for your wages if you work for somebody. And I can tell you from experience, it beats working for yourself. Because the problem with working for yourself is this: it's great, yes, you're in control, but you think about your business, worry about your business every minute of the day. I can remember when my wife used to suggest about going on holiday. She's got expensive taste, and my heart used to sink, because I think, here we go, it's going to cost a lot of money to go away. Not only do we have the cost of going away on holiday, but you have to, or I had to take time off work, which meant we had to wind down the business, ready to go away. When I was away, I was worrying about it, because it never really stops, because you still get emails, phone calls, messages, problems with jobs. So you never stop worrying about it. When you get back from work, all you're doing is trying to catch up on all the work that's piled up since you've been away. So you don't really enjoy your holiday. The one thing I wanted to do was to make money on the internet. Why? Because you earn money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year. Now, all you have to do is 5 minutes work. It's as simple as that. So now I can go away and know that I'm making money every minute of the day, no matter what. So how do we actually make money? Well, the first thing you need to do, you can join my advertising page free, but you don't actually earn any money until you buy what's called advertising credit packs. Tip is to buy as many as you can afford. Now, people say to me, how many do you recommend I should start with? It's a business. Treat it like any business. Some people say, well, one guy said to me, I've got £10,000. Do you think I should put the lot in? I said, no. I said, if that's all the money you've got, that's like putting your whole house on the line. Start with what's called a comfortable amount, an amount that you're prepared to lose. Not that you're going to lose anything, but there's no guarantee in life about anything. Things could happen to my advertising page that are totally out of the owner's control. The fact is, I'm confident about the future, but it's the same old thing. Money makes money. The reason why the rich are getting richer is because the rich know how to make money work for them. The more credit packs you have, the more income you will start earning, because the company shares its profit, not revenue, its profit with you, dependent on how many credit packs. All you have to do is click 10 ads a day. It takes about 10 minutes, and that's it. You can start planning your future. Now, people say to me, what happens if I forget to click? Well, I'm afraid if you don't click that day, you don't earn anything that day. Believe you me, once you get into a habit of doing those clicks, you won't forget to click every day. You can take holidays as well. The nice thing is, you only have to do the same thing whether you've got one credit pack or the maximum 1,200 credit packs. That's all you have to do. So the first thing is decide on how many credit packs you want. The more credit packs you have, the more income you will earn, up to a maximum of 1,200. So here are some encouraging features of what's different about this business. It's free to join, as I said. You've got 30 days to familiarize yourself with everything about the site and what it offers. Membership levels include free banner ads each month. There's no sponsoring actually needed, as I said, to make money. If you're in business or you know any business owners, you can certainly introduce those. And believe you me, they will thank you for introducing them to this business. I was at a business club the other day, and every person in the room had a website. And most people, all they want to do is drive traffic to the website. And if you can imagine, if you're driving traffic to your website and you're making a profit, what are you going to do with some of that profit? You're going to buy more advertising. So it's a fantastic advertising platform for all members. Anybody that's an entrepreneur and they want to make some serious money, well, if you think my income's a great deal, there's actually 7 people now that become internet millionaires through this business in the same time that I've been in it. Now, referrals are welcome, but as I said, they're not essential. So you earn money 3 times every hour of the day. You only have 10 minutes activity per day required. There's no need to refer others. There's no expensive office environment needed. Just going back to traditional business, not only do you have the cost of starting up your business, and as an example, I started a window tinting business that I initially outlaid £11,000. Then I spent £6,000 on a website. If I tell you my overheads per month were around about £5,000 or £6,000 every month, so imagine that you have to earn in profit £6,000 to £7,000 a month just to break even. This business has no overheads, no staff, nobody telling you what to do. You are your own boss. You can work where you want, anywhere in the world. It requires no technical knowledge. Anybody can do this. As long as you can click a mouse, you can earn money. And how do you get paid? Well, it's literally a quick withdrawal. You can withdraw out of My Advertising Pays to a system that we have called VX Gateway, and that will be in your bank within 3 days. Is it sustainable? Is it a sustainable cash flow for years to come? Absolutely. Why? This is the most important thing. A lot of people don't understand this. People don't understand how can you buy one credit pack for $50 and the company returns you $60. How on earth can that happen? Well, all you need to understand is what have you actually bought? You bought some advertising. That's no different than, as an example, ladies often go out and buy clothes. I know because I watch my wife do it every day. She buys a lot of clothes on the internet. Now, some of those clothes she doesn't even wear. Does it matter that she has bought it? The shop that sold it to her has made a profit. Are they bothered that she doesn't wear it? No. The fact is she bought it. She didn't decide to wear it. It doesn't matter to the shop because they've made a profit. So every time somebody buys advertising, whether it be a credit pack or a banner advert or a pop-up advert, the company has made a profit. All that's happening is a percentage of that profit, and remember, profit is after overheads is taken out. The company keeps 5% and 95% is paid back to shared out to all the people that have credit packs. Now, people often say to me, is this legal? Well, all I can tell you is Mike Dees made sure that everything that he was doing was totally compliant in every country that they went to. So we approached some of the top legal advisors. You can go and do your own research. Just do yourself a favor. If you do go and search on the internet, just be aware that the good thing about the internet is it's freedom of speech. People can say anything they want about any company or any individual. And I'm afraid often what you're reading is totally untrue. As an example, go and put into Google, is Mother Teresa a scam? And go and see what some people say about that. You will find, if you understand what goes on the internet, that often people are giving their opinion, often about something they know nothing about, and there's a reason often why they're doing it, because they buy a domain name, as an example, My Advertising Pays scam. They buy that domain name and it attracts more people to their site. And if you look at the bottom of most of these sites, they have adverts. So why are they doing it? They're just doing it to attract more people to their website to generate an income for themselves, because they realize that most people are quite negative in what they look for. Is it impossible? Sorry, it's not. It's impossible not to make money in this business. 100% of people make money as long as they click their 10 ads. They make money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The only condition is you need to buy at least one credit pack. As I said, the more credit packs you own, the more you earn. Think about it. Money makes money. If you're earning, let's say, 1% per day per credit pack, what would you prefer, to have one credit pack or 1,200 credit packs? It's quite logical, really. So the more you have, the more you earn. Simple as that. The way to earn unlimited income is just find a few more people that want to make some money online, and there's millions of them out there. It's just literally a case of just finding out who those people are. There are commissions for referring people when they buy a credit pack. There are membership levels, and you get paid for referring others, up to 10% as a prime time member for every product they purchase for life. Now, this is where a lot of people don't understand the benefit of just finding one or two people in this business. What people don't understand is that once people start using the advertising and they see the kind of results you get, people don't stop advertising. It's continuous. And the other thing is, as you might have somebody that buys a few credit packs, but I'll guarantee once they start seeing this business working, they will start building up the number of credit packs by using the profit they're making to buy more credit packs. because if you're smart, you'll work it out. So whatever money is available in your available account balance, you can draw out. It's real money, it's your money, it's there if you want it. If you're wise, I would use it initially. If you can't afford, like some people do, buying 1,200 credit packs, use that profit to buy more credit packs. It's one of the fastest paid payouts in the industry, and it pays direct into whatever bank account that you want to nominate within 3 working days. Okay, so you get paid real cash into your available account balance 3 times every hour. You can withdraw cash daily or use it to repurchase more credit packs. As I said before, the aim is, if you want to get to the maximum share of the company's profit, then you need to get to 1,200 credit packs as fast as you can. If you're wondering how long it took me, I did start introducing a few people, which helps, because the percentage that you earn from any credit packs they buy, if you're smart, you can either take that money out, or if you're really smart, you would use that money to buy some more credit packs. That's what I decided to do. I initially was aiming to get up to 600 credit packs. Why? Because at the time I had no income coming in because of the story I was telling you before. So as a compromise to keep my wife happy, my first goal was to reach the 600 credit packs level, and then I was going to take some money out. What happened with me when I bought 40 credit packs, I noticed straight away that I was able to buy another credit pack every 2 days. Then that increased to 1 every other day, and then 1 a day, and then 2 a day. By the time I got to 600 credit packs, I was actually buying about 10 a day. So I sat down and worked it out, and I said to my wife, can we just hang on for a few more months? Because if you take that money out, it's less money to buy more credit packs. So we changed our plan. We decided to keep buying more credit packs, and we actually reached the 1,200 credit packs. We aimed for, well, we planned it for the end of October. It was actually 6 days later, on the 6th of November 2015, we reached the 1,200 credit packs. Since that day, we've been drawing out in excess of 5,000 to 6,000 every week. Now, the way I look at this is your credit packs are like, imagine if you owned a shop. In that shop, you need to buy stock. Let's say, it's a shoe shop. You would need pairs of shoes to display in the shop. If you sell, let's say as an example, you've got 1,000 pairs of shoes in the shop and you sell 100 pairs today, what you need to do is go and replace those shoes. So your credit packs, to me, are like having stock. Each one of those stock earns you an income, profit. So here's an example. If you start with 100 credit packs costing $50 each, it will cost you a total of $4,999, assuming the earnings are approximately 50 cents per day. Okay, that's the minimum. After 100 days, you will have returned $60 per credit pack. That's $60 times 100 credit packs. That's 6,000 earnings, 120% of your initial purchase cost. Just think about that. Where else could you get that kind of return in the bank or any other business? It's just literally madness. So with every with every $60 earned, you can purchase another credit pack. As I said to you, if you're smart, I didn't even use my own money. I used an interest-free credit card. If you haven't got an interest-free credit card, you work it out. What interest you'd pay, you would probably make more money buying a credit pack in My Advertising Pays and earning money on that, and you'll be able to pay that money back. So the quicker your earnings reach $60, the sooner you can buy another credit pack. The rate of growth increases day by day. And the same happens with people that you have introduced. They might start with a few credit packs, but what happens is they tend to buy more. And I'll give you an example. One person I introduced who started with 20 credit packs when he first started, obviously that gave me $100. What did I do with it? I bought 2 more credit packs. What happened then was I noticed at first he was buying 1 credit pack every 4 days. Then it got to 1 credit pack every 3 days, and then 1 every 2 days, 1 every day. And currently, from one person I introduced, I get every day about $70 to $90 a day from one person. It never stops. So what an amazing business. So we're getting to the end now. Let me just go through some of the features again. It helps if you invite friends, of course it does. My advice to you is do not try and explain this business to your friends, especially because they love to give you an opinion of something they know nothing about. My advice is to invite them onto a call like this, or take them along to one of the many meetings that are held throughout the country now, or get them to speak or arrange a call with the person that introduced you. It makes it very easy and simple. In the back office, when you register, you have a complete catalogue there of self-development and motivational books. That is the one thing I can thank Multilevel Marketing for giving me. The knowledge. Knowledge is power. And that is all free in your back office. It sets you up for life. It's not just about making money, it's about having the right mindset. Because it's all very well earning a lot of money, but if you have not got the right mindset and you don't know how to look after that money, that's where you do need educating. And the good thing is My Advertising Pays also provides that education for you. So this is the home page of My Advertising Pays. You'll notice there's adverts on the side, across the top, on the bottom. A lot of these adverts are from external advertisers, a lot of them are from internal advertisers. Basically, you just need to register. So you can see on the slide there, you click sign up. The one thing you must do is make sure that the top box has your sponsor's name. It actually asks you to confirm that. If it's not your sponsor's name, don't register, give your sponsor a call. And please make sure you write down the details that you have registered, like your passwords that ask you to create and your PIN number. It's amazing how many people forget to write those down, and it causes all sorts of problems later. I want to thank everybody for coming onto the call tonight, especially for the new people.